Hi, good night, and welcome to The Bridge. Tonight we have Nesta Second Star Boxill.
Yeah, man,
Welcome.
definitely.
So, soca star, songwriter, entrepreneur, event coordinator, and many other things.
Yeah.
How are you?
Surviving the pandemic as everybody, you know, I'm just happy to be here on the bridge.
Great. So next we have our other artist is and guest is Ronnie Mac the Knife McIntosh. I get it right?
Yeah, correct.
Thank you.
A little history behind that Mac the Knife situation, but we could get into that later on. First of all, let me say, pleasure to be part of the team. Good to be sitting next to my good friend, Second Star, and good to be here, man. Pleasure.
Wonderful. Great. You said your friend Second Star, he met you when he was a child.
Yeah, well, I met him when he was a child. He wasn't aware because, I mean, his dad,
Right.
which he will probably talk much about, on that. But his dad was the late, great,
Right.
talented, whatever merchant. Yeah, so of course I would have met him a little, and then of course we link up somewhere in the Soca Star situation. What year was that, boy?
I think that was 2009, you know.
2009.
Yeah, I
right.
think
We
so.
end up on the same stage as the whole mentorship situation used to take place on the Synergy Soca Star.
Right.
Yeah, and we had a great performance. It's on the YouTube. Just look for Second Star Ronnie McIntosh.
Yeah.
How old were you at that time?
I think 19, you know.
About 12.
No, I think 19. I think I was 18, 19, I think. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on it. But about that age.
So you both had prominent fathers that were prominent in the music industry.
Yeah. My dad was the Koto, who would have.
You know, your father's at the Koto.
You make I tell you, I remember just telling you, I met you, you didn't meet me.
Wait.
So I would have known you. Adi Koto was the musical arranger back in the day, all in the 70s, who would have arranged for all 90%.
All learning something.
I thought you knew that though.
I didn't know that. I knew your father was prominent. I didn't know who he was.
Right, okay. Yes, we use merchants on our son. That's how we go along in the business. Atason. You know what I mean? Yeah,
So people just call it Atason?
Well, back in the day, yes, and I'd have some guys in the game still will just see me and say, Atason, and then they keep telling you, you're looking more like your dad based on the glasses, steppy now, you know. The mannerism is there, guaranteed for sure. The mannerism of my dad, I have that correct.
So like what do you felt like you learned plenty from them to make you what you is today? Like
definitely. I would have been part of the calypso tents since the age of 7. So I would play percussion in the calypso tents, congas to be more specific.
Right.
So yeah, I was living the calypso tent life, since going to school, primary school, into Southeast Port of Spain. Yeah.
You know that
I was fortunate to get the end of the Calypso
Calypso
tent.
tent.
Yeah, so I was around it, but I wasn't in it until I was like about 14, 15. As
you
a
missed out
performer.
real thing then.
No, I was around. I was
missed
around.
it.
I was in the back, but I mean to hit the stage. He was on stage playing the congas. I never played an instrument. I just was in the back, and that's I believe it was Frank Martino and Claude Martino. Used to
That
run
would have been spectacular.
Yeah.
Claude is deceased now, though. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Rest in peace, and Lennox Toussaint.
Right.
Yeah.
That is production, stage manager, backstage.
Yeah.
Soft
So,
spoken.
You know, they put me on in the first 3 acts, when people come in and getting seated and thing. That was me.
You just sing the anthem.
Nah.
But what was that like though as a youngster in that environment? Because I mean, the young people wouldn't know today what really
It was just a
entailed.
matter of just absorbing information, and because beside the calypso tent, they would all come to our house with the songs to start from scratch, from the guitar. So you come with the song, and then of course my dad would, restructure the melody, shift that, do different things. So I was picking up all
The tricks.
that, not realizing, because of course he would have given them, little pointers and stuff like that. He was very strong on diction. Diction, I fed up here, not fed up, but, tired here. I would Pelham Goddard would be in the yard by us, and Pelham Goddard got piano lessons from Adi Koto.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, and we would laugh. Me and my sister.
Wow.
Yeah, we was laughing, Pelham Adi kind of way with the thing, and
Yeah.
we thought it was funny until we saw.
What he became.
Yeah, until we are checking our album and I see arranged by Pelham Goddard. I say, wow, yeah. So we grew in it. All the Lord Melody. When Maestro passed away, he left by us, heading back to South. Yeah, and then we got the news. We didn't get a WhatsApp. Because there was no WhatsApp then. True.
Maybe you didn't need it. Maybe you
But
didn't need
yeah,
it.
but Maestro, all those Kitchen and Sparrow, my daddy would arrange for both of them at the same time. But Sparrow wouldn't come to the house if he passed in and he see Kitchen and car there. They never bounce up.
Oh.
But
Now
my dad would arrange for both of them.
So, I mean, it was like that since then.
and,
till
it,
now,
and it's still so end.
It will never change.
Never change.
Never change.
So who's the two new artists that do that now?
I mean, 2 new artists who do that.
Well, who's the equivalent? Who's the equivalent to
I
Kitchen?
mean, it have it, but it's not any animosity, and I don't think even in those days was animosity. It's more like that demand to watch.
Right,
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah,
Can't get
competition.
Coca-Cola the formula.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I grew in that, and I not being aware, I was just absorbing. All
What
the
about
information.
I mean, Calypso Tens back in the days had a lot of risky, type of
Okay,
content.
but I'll tell you
as
something.
a
One of the
youth.
tens that I was never able to, I was not allowed to play in would have been, well, it was two names. They had the OYB tent, which would have been the original Young Brigade, and owned by Mr. Sil Taylor, and then Sparrow took it over himself and called it Sparrow's Young Brigade.
Right.
That is the tent now. You would have bunks up Shorty and Baran. So the smut, which is, smut. It was all the smut was down in there. So my dad say you can't, but I did all. I did the review. I did Masters Den.
Wow.
Masters Den, which would have been opposite the jail on Frederick Street.
Right.
Yeah, Mr. Earl Patterson was the manager then. That was Shadow's tent, so to speak. I did the Kingdom of the Wizards, which is
Shadow's
which
tent.
is the same building,
Yeah.
but I was William Monroe.
Oh, that's serious.
Kingdom of the Wizards was Monroe.
Oh.
That building, was William Monroe. And that's how you're good friends now.
Is there
The Martino brothers took it over.
anything close or remotely close to anything that, like back in the days like that?
Pardon me, what is
exists
that?
today?
Happens now?
About like the Calypso Tens?
Yeah.
The Calypso Tens basically fall apart, and I have some reasons, why,
I have some reasons as well.
Yes, it's a lot. It's very political too, because the prime ministers back in the day, however, would be contented with a little the pecan
Right.
from Dr. Eric Williams. Everybody get it. I think if you watch the demographic of the tent, the patrons in the tent would have been more of East Indian descent. The first 10, 15 rows, they would come early. Now,
Really, I would have thought different.
No, that is because you. Okay,
Yeah.
finish it.
well,
Finish
jump in,
explaining.
jump in.
Finish. From my knowledge, 'cause I do a lot of research, right? At the end of the day, back in the days, the Calypso tent was for everybody, right? And at some point, it became very political. A lot of East Indians used to attend, but it became a lot of East Indian bashing or East Indian belief system bashing. And that drove them away out of the tent, from what I studied.
Because it got personal.
Yeah.
Right.
You see, if you attacking somebody
Your
of East
patrons.
Indian descent, it's cool.
Right.
But if you stand there and attack East Indian on the whole,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
and I is the one who paying the money for it wasn't VIP, it was special reserve.
Yeah.
Are you filling up your special reserve seats? But then the Calypsonians you bring in to entertain me, coming up
Bashing
in
you.
my face and
Comedy
you pointing at me.
Wow.
If you watch this shift, you will see that they shifted to the
That was one of it.
comedy shows.
Yeah, they shifted to commissions, yeah, as he said. Same thing, I looked into that. Another thing that I believe was a factor was that, okay, so if you watch the entire carnival, this is my assessment, does not have to be 100% accurate. They have their chosen cast, and opportunities for new or fresh blood will be down to like 1, 2, 3, right? Like 3, 4 people at most. You could correct me if I'm wrong.
You're going good.
And what would happen is that these people have an audience, and rather than taking that for all the time, they will go and they will create something else. And that's why you see a lot of youths at that point in time, there's a separation between the the old guards and the new guards, which is like the soca artists. They went and they got their promoters from their generation and stuff to promote to their audience because they don't have an opportunity in the tents. And that same thing has kind of happened now, where it's like there are those systems where kind of they block out this generation of artists. I don't like to say the word generation, but this, because they have their structures in place for their entertainment, right? So what that has forced a lot of us to do now is to create a means for our fans. I could tell you Second Sunday started because I knew I had a strong fan base, and there were events that did not accommodate me and did not see the value of my fan base. So I was then forced to, you know what, I need to engage my fans to create my own event. And that is the same thing that has been happening then till now.
And as long as I get it, I'm happy. I want to be rich like I live in Dubai. Everybody got to live so nice. That you have your money and I have mine.
Yeah, Ronnie?
Yeah, so we're back. All right, yeah, basically, I was just putting the stamp on the point that he made a while ago about him creating, or not him, but just his. They have a nice little unit that a close knit team that he's part of, and they creating their own space.
Right.
Because yes, there are a lot of feds, that already have their format already. And he quite right. No, they're not opening up no windows for him to get in. But in the meantime, he bring in 4-5 songs every year, and the songs popular and he growing, but his fans not getting a chance to see him. So that's a brilliant move.
Well, I think it's a good time to talk about, radio and airplay and
You sure you want to go
and
there?
limitations and what young artists in particular are doing to navigate that space.
You get to go.
Yeah. When you have your own station, you don't have problems with airplay.
Who are the other station? No, sir. No, sir.
Though, I mean, in terms of airplay, because I mean, some people will ball my song not playing, and they may target one radio station. But when you listen, really, no station, the other station not playing it either.
Right.
But they may target a radio station. Let's say they do a social media.
Yeah.
But they may call one radio station. When you listen, it's not that the others playing it and this one not playing it. Nobody not playing it. So maybe there's something wrong with the song. At the end of the day, too, back in the day, the songs would have been built from the feds.
Right.
Facts. Still like that slide.
And then the radio station now will pick up. They will come in. They come in the feds on the weekend, quote unquote, Soca Village.
But if like one radio station plays a particular song all the time, and then their DJs play that same song in all the feds, like doesn't that help push that one song?
Well,
what is wrong with that?
Nothing.
Okay, you gotta understand, right? So first thing first, let's break down the business of it, right? The business of a radio station is advertising. That means they need to ensure that the audience is tuned into them so that they can then sell the numbers to advertisers. The radio station's job is not to primarily break a record or break an artist.
Right.
That is a side effect, and that is something that can happen, but that is not their business model. And when you understand that what a radio station wants is engagement and listenership, it means that you then have to go and build your personal profile to the point that there is value in playing your product because people have already tuned in. So most people watch it as the inverse, whereas like the radio station gives you the audience, but you give the radio station the audience.
Of course.
And that's how it's supposed to be. And when you recognize that, you will stop saying things like the radio don't play my song. I have many songs that I drop that the radio just throw to the side. You understand? But at the end of the day, when you could do an event or you could do something that brings out a large audience, or when you put out something and people react to it, you have social media now. They see that. They then in turn want to go with that trend because they want to draw that audience to them.
Yeah.
So that is the business model. So that what you just said in terms of they're playing on the radio and then they're going into the feds. That's because that brand is trusted when you go into Massy or wherever you go to buy your food or whatever, right? It have top shelf products, eyesight, and it have the ones to the bottom. Now the products to the bottom have to work harder so that when you go there, you won't just grab to the top.
Of course.
You have to go to the bottom. So you have to get yourself up to the top shelf. And that's what we all have to understand and work. And don't get vexed with Massy, because Massy ain't put you to the top shelf one time. You have to earn that position. And everyone has to do it. That they call that paying the dues. I don't totally agree with that statement, but is the business of it. And they could correct me if I'm
You're
wrong.
going good.
They could correct me if I'm
You're
wrong.
going correct.
Yeah.
The only difference is that, as I said, with the fets back in the day, you didn't have the social media aspect of it.
Of course.
And back in the day, now all the party people would have attended one venue. You didn't have 5-6 fets per night. You know, Soca Village on the weekend, and we all go there. You know what I mean? 10,000, and we go there. Everything built from there.
If the live performance fed into the radio station and influenced the radio stations, then how could a young artist back then guaranteed to get onto the stage?
Because of the fact that the bands would have played any song that singing good and looking good. We wouldn't hesitate. There was no sort of major preference. If you come with a song and it good, we played.
Right.
Nice.
And it built in the fets.
So now there's a whole culture almost in our society where there's a lot of music going on and a lot of music being listened to and played and stuff like that on the social media side of things. That is not on the radio stations. How do mainstream artists like yourself, compete with that?
Compete? There's no competition. I mean, at the end of the day, music is a mission, not a competition. Let's start with that. So it's not like I am competing with these young artists. At the end of the day, there are systems in place, and these guys have to create their own forms of getting out there. And actually, we could learn from them.
Yeah.
You understand? Because the way how I watch it is like they have innovated ways to get to their audience, and they're not saying we're not allowed to get it. We just use it the same way, and I am on a mission to do the same thing now. It's not a competition between traditional media and social media. In fact, I am very active on social media, especially recently. So I use what Ronnie was saying about building these songs and fets. I can personally testify many times putting on my song. It does not play on radio. And then when I go on the stage, you shake down the disco, and then every DJ is going to go and take that. That come like a sample product. If you watch it, that come like a sample product, and then, oh, cool, yeah, boy, this is a good product. You understand? They probably didn't like the packaging, but when they see it good, they will come back for it. So, yeah.
And the crowd
So it's not
stand and do their thing.
you carry your song to the people. You carry your song to the people. That's what those guys do on social media. So traditional media is not the only way.
You released a song recently called Dubai that heavily focuses on the business side of it in terms of making that paper and getting paid for what you do. I find, you want to share a bit more on that song in particular.
On that song in particular. Okay, so let us be a very honest space. Honestly, that song just came. It was like literally was in studio with Private Ryan working on something else. He played that beat. I just literally said, tell the admin I'm looking for him. You're not answering, I'm looking for him. I said it in passing. He was like, we need to record that now. Recorded the song. I was thinking, I'm from La Hoquita, which is
Little
quote unquote Little Dubai. So the original thing I was saying is, I come from a place called Little Dubai, but the fact is everybody's not from La Hoquita. And everybody would not celebrate that song. Right. So I had to switch it up and say, I want to be rich like I live in Dubai. But it's social commentary.
Right.
I'm not trying to sing something for, I just sang a song. Honestly, get bigger than that.
But your actions align with it though. Having your own show, being an entrepreneur, being focused in that area in terms about getting paper.
No, if you listen to the words of the song, it says, don't sell your soul for money. Don't spend your whole life seeking vanity. Money can't make you happy, but money is a necessity. So it says that you use money as a tool. Don't let money use you. And then after the next line is, I know I too important to ever remain a poor man. That means transcend your situation where you're from. So tell them, bring all my money for me. I mean, that's just for the crowd to sing. Tell the admin I'm looking for him. All that is just choppiness. I did not join a susu. I did not. I thought about it very honestly. I looked at it as a gamble.
Yeah,
but I was like, it's not a gamble I need to take. You know, some boys, you cry the people, so as an entertainer, you just sing it.
Don't sell your soul for money, no. Don't live your whole life seeking vanity. The crowd's balling up, come on. Shake it, all day, shake it. Everybody on the street.
Side of the music industry and your music business, you're a successful businessman also. Ronnie and Caro, etc.
Yeah, we jump into a lot of things. I mean, based on experience again, watching the growing up in the Calypsonian world and seeing, observing some of the errors that they made, including my dad.
Right.
He made some huge mistakes in terms of finance and that kind of stuff. Yeah, when he passed away, by the time you check the life insurance policy, it lapsed and all kind of thing. He was owing this, he was owing that. I had to, put things in place and that kind of stuff. So, and then I saw a lot of Calypsonians also who was in the business for a while. If they do get ill or they do pass away, you find that they raise funds.
Right.
Barbecue and cake sale and car wash and them kind of things, raise funds. So I basically say the soca thing, my whole motto is that soca have no pension.
Right.
There's no pension. I know about pension plans through my insurance agent and stuff. I know about my life insurance policy and stuff. And so what was missing back then was a lot of education.
Right.
Right? So I made it my business. I said, okay, yes, soca music, yes, but soca music have an expiry date basically in terms of, you have young artists coming up. So while things happening nice for you, then you find a way to diversify and do other little things now.
Right.
So we'd have gone into the clothing store business. We had about 12 stores, scattered about the place. But then again, that whole retail thing started to take a dive because of online shopping and that kind of stuff. So that kind of quietish now. We would have gotten into construction too. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And then we get caught up in the mass. Now the Ronnie and Caro mass band situation is not really a seasonal thing because, very rare you would see Ronnie and Caro mass camp close.
Right.
Now it closed now.
Well, yeah. For obvious
Closed
reasons.
now,
Yeah,
and literally
yeah.
closed. It's dusty too. Lot of bills on the ground. I just pass and people the bills. When the postman drop the bills, I'm not going in there. I don't need to go in there to pick up all those bills. Leave them right there. Right? So basically, but of course, as I said, Ronnie and Caro, as Carnival finish, the staff might only get a week because it's preparation
Planning
for
and everything.
Bahamas, St. Martin,
Nice.
St. Thomas. Then you have the summer period, you have Tortola, Toronto.
Right.
You know what I mean? Plus you have the other carnivals where you might get a little small contract. You might end up doing some work in Crop Over, Barbados. You know what I mean? You have a little something in Miami. Plus preparation for the next year normally is all April, May, June, July anyway. So we,
Right.
yeah.
At the beginning, right? Like, let's say late last year when y'all were thinking about Carnival, y'all thought about like innovating it in any way, like for
not really,
trying to
I mean,
continue?
innovation is cool, but you see, our contribution, our part of the carnival is basically interaction, The truck, on the road, the jump up, the hug up. You know what I mean? Our stuff is more interaction. I mean, he can still put out a song. And then, of course, he had the concert, which I think was very successful, by the way. I didn't mention that. Very successful. I must say that the social distancing was on point.
Thank you very much.
I was wondering why so much attention was being paid on your concert only, and a lot of attention is not being paid on other situations.
Thanks for bringing up that because that was a
You
nice
want to go
question.
there?
Yeah, definitely.
I deliberately went there. I deliberately
I
went
want to
there.
know what happened, how it worked out, and
I deliberately
what
went
was the
there. Let's go there.
challenges.
Second Sunday.
Yeah.
What was the challenges?
Well,
The challenge was to figure out a way to monetize it. Okay, so from the time I think it was the public ordinance number 30 or something. I think it was that. To quote me on that. I recognized that he said that you're allowed to have it in theater spaces and stuff. So I immediately said, you know what? Due to my history in the culture, Spectacular was in Queensville. I used to be a part of Tricanal show. I said, you know what? I'm going to do my event there. Now, I wanted to ensure, honestly, that I knew there would be some form of backlash because I know that they have people who have their personal agendas and really anti-culture. So I know that that crowd will really have something to say. So rather than sell tickets, I say, you know what, I will buy the bullet. I thank my sponsors who came on board, the NLCB Fireworks, KJ Lightings, so many people, Dr. Caliente, and the band and everybody, we came together, and the Empire, who were the event coordinators, we said, you know what, let's just bite this bullet and run it as a test, have a controlled audience.
Mm-hmm.
If there's 50% capacity, we're going to go with 30%. And I want to thank Queen Soul, because Queen Soul already went above and beyond, right? So when I saw that person go up, get the angle from a certain distance, make sure it looked like it ram, I was like, wow, these people real thing. And actually, the person who did that person had a personal thing against me. I could go into that, but we just won't go into that.
Right.
And they have their agenda that they was trying to sell. At the end of the day, the business is engagement, and that topic will build a lot of engagement. But investigation started, the investigation ended, and the only mistake I could say that I made is that when they put Trinis to the front seat, and it has space,
They go use it.
and from the time that music hit,
They're going up.
they getting up and they is going.
What was the result of the show? Did you achieve what you hoped to achieve?
Yeah, I mean, last year, the second, so my first second Sunday, I was planning to have 300 people with chairs, because I know that most people start small.
Right.
End up getting 1,500 people. Honestly,
Nice.
I don't know. That happened on the day.
Right.
Because I've been very honest, I sold 40 tickets.
Personally, yeah.
No, yeah.
Right.
No, not personally. My team sold 40 tickets. The next team to like about 35. I mean, know what happened on the day?
Sunny day, let's pull up.
No, not man boy, woman boy.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah,
People-
Woman. I think the
Carnival is
problem.
woman.
I think the problem was the placement of my tickets. So that I will learn with, but the availability of it. Because people wanted to come and people just show up, and I had to beg people, oh God, do please do come. Right. The second time I got 3,000 people. Right. Cool. That's great. Blessings for that. Honestly, I didn't expect that kind of exponential growth. This year, I expected to have a lot, but then, the corona happened. So I was thinking, okay, so we have that. How do I reach the people who would generally not tune in to myself and my peers for Carnival, who would come and who would generally just not go and pay for a second Sunday ticket because they're not exposed to us because the channels that we spoke about created, right?
of course.
And I said, you know what? We're going to do this in Queen's Hall. We're going to make it a national event. Honestly, I was just dreaming. I didn't expect all that, to be very honest. And the support from the people, it was real, like, way.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
It was like, so I think more people are exposed to the level of production that Second Sunday is and the level of detail that other persons who they're not too familiar with would be able to create. The cast was a very young cast, and that was very intentional. That was to highlight that there is a lot of extremely talented youth, and that we competent enough to do stuff. You understand?
So you
I
think
just
this is a
happy.
good model going forward? Do you think people are going to pick up on it and follow?
I honestly, I keep saying, the man who first invented the traffic light did not have an amber, meaning that
Let's stop or go.
it was stop or go. And then somebody took it and said, you know what, let me put a yellow light and make people know they could slow down before they stop, so it can just be a sudden business and prevent accidents and stuff. So I did my thing. I learned the front seat is the seat. Make sure nobody don't sit down there because people could go to jump up, and anybody could go with it and do with it as they like. I'm not trying to be no inventor.
Back to you, Ronnie. You've made you've been ultra successful in the art form, particularly because of your stage presence and your performance, including your down to your costuming.
The ID.
Yeah, exactly. Talk about that a little
Back
bit.
in the day, ID was important, eh? ID was important because you're coming up against the likes of the David Rudders and the Tambos and that kind of stuff. So you had to come up with something in order to penetrate. Because these guys, had the thing locking us at a certain level, So, I was crazy too. So we just tried the black hat, and then the trench coat came about, and then, when we extend the colors, and then we started decorate and glitter down, and so ID is important. Plus, if the truck coming down the road, so if the band coming down on the truck, you must know which band coming. That's why you would find Ronnie McIntosh used to be up on
top
the
of the
roof
truck.
of the truck. That's before everybody started to go up on the truck, and then you had to be dodging electrical wires and stuff like that, and then
Yeah,
they make
probably
it a
a
rule.
dangerous game there.
I alone used to be up there by myself.
By yourself.
Everybody jump up and while who hanging on from the speakers, the wildness start.
Yeah.
And then they tell them, Ronnie, come down. I must come down. So, but there you're seeing the trench coat from far, and you see the hat, so you know that it's Chandelier coming
Right.
from 10 blocks away. So ID was important. Yeah.
So now that there's so much restrictions on live performances, what are you hoping to happen? I know you have You have hopes that things gonna
What I
settle
hoping to
soon.
happen, I
maybe.
just looking forward, boss. I mean, I still perform from time to time. I never perform on second Sunday though. But you know, just saying. There's another moment I had it. I just keep getting these moments. Yeah. So no, but for real, I still perform from time to time, a little bit, 1 or 2 all inclusives and stuff. I still do a little traveling.
Right.
So I miss the stage, not as much as he would have missed the stage because he's
in
stage.
it right now. Yeah.
My whole program basically caught up in a mass situation.
For me personally, I still in my juvenile stage where I still happy go lucky to just go and hit a stage, you know, and just give it all my venom and things. So I haven't reached that stage as yet. And I cried in my rehearsals for second Sunday, and I don't cry for nothing. And that's just because you miss that euphoria. You miss that, like, that is a part of your life now. And, you know, it's like, to have it taken away is very, it's very, very hard. And I think the arts is kind of overlooked in Trinidad and Tobago. I mean, this is not a call or attack at the government, but even the government is a reflection of the people. And the people, yes, they love their culture, but they don't love.
Right.
They don't love it. One of my personal qualms, right, from watching Trinidad and Tobago, our museum, it's just like we do protect our identity, and that comes from the top level. In terms of a child does not know who's Attila the Hun. A child does not know who's Blakey. I could go online and do my research, right? A child does not know the contribution that my father made. And to me, one of the greatest insults in Trinidad and Tobago is the fact that Rashoti has absolutely no monument that I can identify in Trinidad and Tobago. And this man created something. Yes, there was a backlash back in the day, but he created something with the entire purpose of uniting the nation, merging the two ethnic groups, the major ethnic groups, creating a music identity. The fuel that pays me, that paid Ronnie, that pays so much of us, that so many people, and there's absolutely no form of celebration for this man. I am not aware of this man doing anything where, you know, you can say he's like Bill Cosby, so you have something major I don't want to really glorify. Why is someone like that not glorified? The whole purpose, the whole purpose of soca is to unite and solve the problem that is racialism. It is the fuel for a whole ecosystem that pays so many people, top level to bottom. And it seems to me that they're just a flash in the pan. A couple of years, sure, I won't know who's Rashoti if we continue like that. They won't know. They won't know who's the mighty shadow.
I was filming a show the other day, for same Blazing Bridge platform, and we played one of Rashoti songs for a group of nine children, and they have no clue who this person is.
It's not really children, it's young people, like from 21 to about 19 to 16.
That is a manifest absurdity.
And they have no clue who this guy is.
They don't know who he is.
We asked them questions about if you know who he is. They was like, never heard about this person before.
But you knew.
I knew it was, yeah.
You did, okay.
Yeah. I know who it is.
You shouldn't have to research culture, identity. Like, okay, I have traveled a little bit, right? You know what's amazing to me? And I love about Jamaica. I went to the cinema in Jamaica. And while I'm going to watch Avengers, I was made to stand up for the national anthem. That is not even like a joke. The national anthem. Every corner, every place you turn, you just see the Jamaican national flag. They celebrate anything you want to find out about their culture, you can find it. Trinidad has a rich heritage. In fact, they say the strum, I can't remember the guy's name exactly, for reggae.
Oh, reggae was started in Trinidad.
Right, started in Trinidad Tobago. Right? None of everybody knows that.
No, I didn't
Trinis
know that.
don't know
I
that.
know
You
that.
understand? And this is facts that just like people just don't know, and they do get to celebrate because of the way that culture is treated in Trinidad and Tobago. And it's hurtful, it is sad, we have so much as a young, small country. I say young because 1962, that's just the other day, in terms of being an independent nation, right? And we have done so much. We have a national instrument. We have a culture. We have one of the greatest exports in terms of festivities, which is Carnival, and a template that the world uses. and we have absolutely no kind of ownership of it.
All right. So we can't end this conversation without getting a
You
little
have,
bit
you have
more.
more things to talk about it? All right, let me go there.
You have more things to talk about. Hopefully, we really want to know. I mean, we can't end the show without
Right.
getting a little bit more from your perspective. Your journey through. I mean, you started at 7. You said.
Yeah, we did the calypso 10s, percussion 7, right, and then got caught up in
And then
some
at
national
what
hockey.
point did you get into being a professional?
Okay, we started
performer?
we started with Chandelier in, let's say would have been 86. Yeah, 86. Because I did my last, I did CAC games, Panam games as a national hockey player.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then the hockey training, which is 6 in the morning, started clashing with the Chandelier performance fet that finishes 4 in the morning. So you find you will finish the fet 4 o'clock in the morning, but you have training for 6. You know what I mean? So they start a clash. Coach tell me, coach was Canadian, Eval Hartley. He told me that I'm burning my candle at both ends, two ends, So I need to make a decision. Now, at that point, I ain't sing nothing yet. I'm a percussionist in Chandelier.
Right.
Carl and Carol Jacobs is still the front.
Right.
Cool. Now, I love my hockey. The little income from the music going back in hockey gear. Because hockey stick and them things expensive. Hockey was also a kind of semi-uptown-ish sport.
Right.
Certain ones could afford the gear, certain ones cannot. I used to beat up Fatima too, I just say that. I just get a moment, I just give me a moment second, I just give me a moment.
I'm so confused.
He's a Fatima boy, I just sticky in line, that we used to beat up Fatima a long time. Right. Don't answer. Yeah. So the hockey gear expensive. So the income from Chandelier going back in hockey gear. So good. We had to stop the hockey because I think one performance down in Library. I saw the coach standing behind a pillar because he heard about the performance. So he come to see what is this thing Ronnie doing. And I tell him, I say, nah, I go in music. He say, okay. Go music. So I did the music. First recording was 1988. As long as I get it, I'm happy.
Right.
That's your first record, eh?
As long as I get
You're
it, I'm
lying.
happy.
No,
Yeah,
this
that's
is
80
lying.
that's 88.
That hit.
You ain't born yet.
No,
Your first recording is how.
That could
You
never
ain't
be
born
your
yet.
first recording.
31. You ain't born yet.
You
You ain't born yet,
wicked.
second.
You wicked.
88.
Who first recording is a hit?
Classic, by the way.
And I error, you know. Okay, my dad passed in 87. Adi Koto. Yeah, deceased father, a good friend. Who is deceased?
Yeah.
November 87, he died. Chandelier in the process of choosing songs. I in the middle of the wake, because the wake, after wake, running till 4, 5 in the morning.
Right.
His guitar, quattro, his thing, his bacchanal, his Johnny Walker by the case.
Right.
That was his spirit then. Right.
Okay.
All them calypso was owing him money.
Come true.
Yes.
But they
I'm
paid.
hoping they was going to give me the money.
But they ain't get
Nah, that
Yes, come
that
fuck up.
that dead. Anyway, so Chandelier, Cliff Harris, owner then choosing songs. Steve Seeley is my front man with me here.
Yeah.
So Happy and another song called Abad came to the table in Chandelier in my absence because I in the wake. Steve Seeley had a choice between Abad and a Happy.
You
He
wanted
chose
that
Abad
bad.
and leave that for me. So after the wake and the funeral and the excitement, I go on down in the band room now. And they said, Ronnie, look, we leave that there for you. Steve take the better one. But we didn't know.
Wow.
Steve take the better one. So I was just give me that. Me, nothing. We were recording by C-Lots, which was Coral Studios,
Right.
which was KH. Yeah, your dad used to frequent down there. Yeah. So we going down now. That back in the days, bass man separate, guitar man separate, horn separate. Everybody put on the tracks separate. They have a big clock. You're paying by the hour. So I watching the guitar man taking long. They buffing the guitar man. They buff everybody. I don't know how long I go and stay. This is my first ever vocal track. You have a piece of paper. I go outside. I load my thing. Go on inside. Put on the headphones. One take it again. And they say, that is it.
What?
Yeah, boy.
You real good.
They say that, but I ain't know I'm real good with that. This is my
Skills.
first ever recording.
Skills.
First ever boot. You go in there, and you know boot in a big room.
Big room.
Yeah.
As long as I get it.
88. Amazing to see Soca Village when the Soca Village Fest finish. Everybody head into town to get a taxi and get a chicken or whatever. And they leave in Soca Village, chipping down Ryson Road, making the left on Independence Square, singing my song. I used to deliberately go in the traffic jam.
To see this.
Just to witness it. And follow them straight down to the roundabout. Because I live in West. So I go straight down to the roundabout in traffic jam. And then I turn and go home. Just to get that feeling. Happy 88, they got shaking at 89. Jump and break away 90. Then we end up outside. We get stuck outside in the coup. Yeah, we couldn't come home. I came home and I break about 9 curfew. I couldn't deal with that. And then fly back out. Couldn't deal with that. So we recorded 92 outside. I think we were able to record 92 album outside. Had to do just different studios, New York, Miami. Yeah, then Donkey, 93. You ain't born yet.
I 4. I see next year.
Good, yeah. Comment on it. Yeah, you did born somewhere there. Yeah, you born somewhere there. Yeah, so we move, we do 93. Of course, in between there, we start traveling. So you do the London, Germany, Holland, Paris, wherever. Of course,
You saying whoever look at please.
North America. Yeah, those days you're out there, 30,000 basically white people. Well, but 2 Trinis, and they must bounce about Trini.
Yeah.
And the
Come to me
Trini bandana, the head bandana, the neck bandana, 2 arms bandana. They want to make you.
And a flag
And
on
the
the
chain is
back.
a steel pan.
Yes, band, everything, coat of arms, everything.
And a
Keep down.
CD Nika.
Yeah, well, no, the back, the car is headrest. 2 headrests. And I have these little shimmy thing coming down from the rearview mirror. Yeah. But we did some nice ones out there, man. We did some nice ones. Of course, back in the day, the income was much smaller because everybody say, you know, we're looking for that breakthrough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we look at the light at the end of the tunnel. And all them kind of talk this again. Look at that not tunnel. You know what I mean? But they're doing what they're doing. Anyway, so good. Catch the Donkey. 95, we catch the Soca Monarch. Beat Super Blue in 95. Bacchanal and thing they pelted, you know.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you know what that one.
They pelted down the car.
Well, they mash up the car because we blocked the car with that piece of plywood and stuff. Then we tie in 97 with Ent. Tie Ent with Barbara. Ugh. Can take that one.
Barbara.
Yeah, Ent and Barbara.
Barbara's a bad tune. though.
Yeah, it's a bad tune. But not Ent.
Yeah, it's in it.
Ent had the place upside down.
Soca Monarch has been nefarious.
Yeah, but no scene, you know. And then I decided I wouldn't go back. I wouldn't go back. I stopped after that.
You stop after that? I want to know how come they stick you with only that, you know?
Neither after 97 you can't tie. And then back in the day, moving with a team. And if everybody have a team and certain members have a team, just take the thing more personal, you know. Sometimes the team members, sometimes the artist cool, you know. But the team members.
Most times the artist cool.
Yeah, them team. And then that's why I started having conversations because this tie was upsetting certain members of the team. And they started talk. I say, look, you see this thing getting too sticky. So Carnival Friday now is coolers.
So what's the high point of your career?
The high point would have been those Soca Monarch periods, yeah. That's when the travel took a high turn because I would have left Chandelier and swinging into Blue Ventiers, 97. So Blue Ventiers got Ent, How We Go Look, and then we got River from Senel. So those 3 years, I mean, is you land Tuesday and you fly out Friday, Wednesday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Sometimes you exchange a suitcase in the airport.
Wow.
Like you come down exchange and
Yeah.
go on. Nah, I ain't do that one yet.
Yeah.
That's his space.
Because you have a connecting flight.
Yeah, no, come to Trinidad.
Let's pick
Switch
up our
suitcase.
suitcase.
Yeah.
And then
Nah, I
crash.
never do that.
So they had a little hotel up there. So sometimes you
Yeah,
drop.
different level.
Yeah.
I finished passport and thing already.
Yeah. Mash up some passport.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mash up passport. But I ain't
Yeah,
do
but
that one day.
yeah, no, because you know.
Yeah, then put that on your bucket list.
I went back in the Soca Monarch with KMC because at that time now, the appearance fee was equivalent to what the first prize was.
Back in the day, yeah.
Yeah, because the first prize would have been $100,000, or a car or something like that. That's when Super and myself tied. That was to sell the car. Then you see the appearance fee now. Sometimes the appearance fee on a Soca Monarch.
So
It's 100.
you and Super Blue had a little...
Little? It wasn't little. It wasn't little. It was 40 maxis coming down from Point 14. Yeah, it wasn't little. Me and Super wasn't little. Me and Super good now. But that Point 14 rivalry, Soca Monarch, fantastic Friday. No. Your team members could run into some members from Point 14 backstage. could get loud.
Wow. It was like that.
It was like that. When I beat him in 95, there was a little small situation backstage 96. Yeah, before I went on stage. Tried a little intimidation things too now, you know?
Right.
But I never get out there. There no social media too, so that
Well,
was
then
cool.
that's the next
Because
thing,
normally
yeah.
somebody would have been taping.
Look, I'm now saying what I was like.
He wasn't doing what he was there, but he wasn't there. But you know, so we...
Yeah, but eventually, I mean, you just had a track that, you
You
guys
think now, like,
collaborated. You collaborated on a track recently.
Yeah, no, he wrote... I did something for 20 years. I did a song, yeah. He wrote it.
It's
Because the only road that I
Tongue-
beat him with in 95, he wrote it, you know. That's what caused the drama too.
Serious?
You beat a man with the one song, yeah. You beat a man with the own...
I actually knew that, so I won't pretend I didn't know.
Right, okay, cool. Well,
Yeah, I didn't
we
know
young
Yeah,
Virginia
yeah,
too. Yeah, so Super
Wait.
composed the song, but I mean, I had contributions. I had some input in the song. No, back in the day, if Super writing a song for you, you had the guitar and be taping and stuff. I would have stick in some lines. Even the whole of the top was mine. Anybody from all our countries thing.
Serious?
Yeah, because I had used that on the Eastern Parkway in '94. Because we was playing for a band who was playing
Oh yeah, you started roll call.
all them flags
You
thing.
started
All them
roll
countries.
easy, yeah.
That's
Yeah,
90s,
you
that's
started
94.
roll call. Yeah.
Eastern Parkway. We performing for a band they played countries of the Caribbean. So you no time to line up your section now. So I say anybody from Barbados, anybody from good. So those days now,
So you know where that come from.
Yeah, I
those days, a lot of my
right
ad-libs,
there. The man right
a lot
there.
of my ad-libs end up in songs, all the counting thing. Like my partner Russell Cadogan from Second Image on the counter 4. That's things that we do in the Fed. A lot of the hooks came from the Fed.
Well, I know that.
But what used to happen is that you couldn't write a song and all. So people like Preacher, calypso and soca artist Preacher will come to the Fed and Lime and he just listening for hooks.
Wow.
So your hook could end up in a Preacher song.
No, I heard he
He's
was
skillful.
known for that.
Skillful.
I heard
He was
I
skillful.
heard he take a road march from a man,
All kind of thing. He's skillful. Preacher he's still skillful, you know?
Yeah.
So as I said, I took the top now. Anybody from Barbados, so Super tell me, make sure and put that in the song. Because you're gonna lose it.
True.
That's how On the Road started with a whole roll call.
Wow.
You have to put your stamp because Preacher would have go with that. I'm telling you. So no, but I had some input in the song. But back in the day, if you put in a 2-line in a song, it's no problem because remember you're getting Super the credit. Now, with collaborative efforts, he will tell you. If a man put in a little 2 lines, he
Yeah,
had
to
to
get
get credit.
something.
Yeah,
Yeah, to get
credit.
yeah.
But so it was said written by Super Blue. Basically, he wrote the song. But I had some input in it and whatever.
And-
But that's the problem was,
And you beat him with the
yeah,
song.
because when the media approached me after the results, I said, nah, me and Super good, man. And when the media approached Super, he said, I ain't writing no song for nobody again.
Hey.
But we got them a brethren now. We're nice now. We're
That's
nice
good.
now.
Well,
We had
we're
a
glad
nice-
to hear that.
We worked together. We worked in 2020. He wrote a song, but I don't have the time to pay attention to it because it's so much different radio stations now. Yes, there's a social media. So, but me putting out a song, people go, put out a song now, Ronnie. I don't have the time to pay attention to it because you don't market the
Because
song.
it's
you
not
don't
just
go out
putting
there.
out a song. There's a
Yeah,
lot
I need
more.
mask, I studying costume, I studying headpiece, feathers. You know what I mean? So I really didn't pay attention to the song and I didn't mark it. I didn't put the effort behind the track as I should have.
Right. All right. Well,
Yeah.
That was
wonderful.
Like, real knowledge.
How far we reach? We
we
reach here. We
always-
pass everything. We don't think we do Blue Frontiers. We swing back by Atlantic though. End back by Cliff Harris again.
You used to work with the show. You perform with the show.
I
you
undercover removed the stuff from All Stars, from Rocky All Stars and brought in the Atlantic.
Yes, I remember that. I was paying attention.
Right. So that McGill, I saw Destra as the
potential.
female Ronnie.
Yeah.
Because she crazy, she wild, energetic, hair sticking down on the face, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was looking for that female energy in front because
Yeah.
we had this Marvin Lewis,
Yeah.
which is moving to the left, Nigel and Marvin. It was
it's just
Nigel,
so
Marvin
much.
Lewis,
Just so much.
and myself. And I'm missing that female wildness. Because my guitar man, which is Jason Lee.
That was 2003.
You know
or something,
Jason Lee?
right? I'm familiar
I
with
want
him.
to get ahead in life.
Yeah.
Right. He was in the Nicki Minaj zone just recently too. He's still in the zone.
Serious?
Yeah. He was down here a couple months ago. But not months now. Because that 2020 kind of fly.
Yeah.
Nobody didn't
so
come in for 2020. So
Ronnie,
it was in
we
2019.
almost out of time, so
You got a time?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So
Just-
I'll wrap here by
yes,
telling
please.
you the Destroyer situation, right? And then we had Wayne Lemazzi on bass, we had Jason Lee, and the front was Energy. And then I make my little calls because me and Destroyer was close to, even though when she was in Roy Cape All Stars, we would have communicated about Energy, and when she had Trimblet, we would kind of restructure Trimblet on the stage, what to do the first verse, take a break. No, don't take the break yet. Do the second verse, then take the break. So we'll have dissected Trimblet before she go on stage, most of the times. So we was close. I work my little magic and make my calls and draft.
Like a football draft.
Draft the Destroyer into
But
the
that when she
Atlantic.
became
That's true.
Destroyer Garcia, from my
And then we
knowledge.
build, and then I started to get
knowledge.
caught up in other businesses. And I couldn't really give my full 100 to the band life.
right.
Because then the band rehearsals is 10 o'clock in the morning. I can't do that.
So real quickly, what is the future for Ronnie McIntosh?
I watching the news. I watching the cases. I watching the deaths. I watching the hospitalizations. I watching that. That's what I do. We can't predict nothing.
I hear.
That's
What
pretty
about you, Sekon?
What's the future for me? Boy, I wish
Having
I...
another concert before Carnival.
Nah. Second Sunday is the only concert of that type
Right.
to come from me for this year. But at the end of the day, I wish I knew what the future held. If I had that ability for telepathy or clairvoyance, I would be, but I just honestly praying, asking God to continue guiding me in the right way, help me take the little decisions and make it as impactful as Second Sunday. And just go with the flow, waiting
Great.
for the hit that stage.
Nice.
So
That's
we're
all.
looking out for it. We will be here supporting you. Thank you very much, guys.
Welcome
Good
to the
night.
bridge.
I's a waste man. She say I's a dog. She screenshot all we text booby up on the net. Now my whole family life mash up. She tell me I's a waste man. I stick that in